The contract was broken. Archangel Michael says someone violated a sacred promise. Heaven is responding. My beloved child of Canada, listen to me very carefully because this moment is not normal. Something in the spiritual realm shifted without warning, and before heaven allowed this message to be revealed to you, there was a deep spiritual investigation that happened above your head. Archangel Michael himself stepped forward and said a sacred contract tied to your destiny has been tampered with. Someone broke an agreement that was never meant to be touched by human hands, and heaven is now preparing to respond in a way that will shock the earth. From the moment you started rising, you who walk on Canadian soil, someone could not handle it. They could not handle the silent glory forming inside you. They could not handle how fast your spirit started growing without you even realizing what was truly happening. Heaven placed you under a timeline where every moment was designed to prepare you for life far beyond what anyone around you expected. And someone stepped into the spiritual side of your path with jealousy and messed with something they had no right touching. And now the full attention of Archangel Michael is standing directly over this situation. This person thought nobody would find out. They believed that because you stayed calm, silent, and focused, that you never felt the shift. You never noticed the sudden change. You never sensed the betrayal. But heaven saw every single piece. Heaven saw the moment they broke the contract over my chosen ones of the true north. Heaven watched the private thought where they decided to interfere with your destiny. Heaven watched the moment they made a choice to block what was yours, even though heaven had already stamped it in your name. And Archangel Michael says, this is the moment everything reverses. Because the truth is, your life was never random. Your blessings were never random. Your future was never random. The spiritual contract over your soul was written before you even knew what destiny meant. Children of the maple leaf, listen. Heaven made an oath concerning you. Heaven sealed a promise around you. Heaven built a path around you. And now, this very path is being activated again with double force because someone tried to stop a future that they were never in alignment to control. This is where everything turns. Someone broke a sacred spiritual promise that involved you, but they forgot something important. Heaven never loses track of the agreements it makes. Heaven never forgets the people it chooses. Heaven never allows darkness to win the final move. Canada, my chosen nation of the North, this message is for you. Archangel Michael is stepping forward because you need to understand something very big is coming back into your life that was stolen in silence. Something very powerful is returning, and this time it comes with a stamp of protection that will not allow interference again. You who dwell from the Rockies to the shores of Newfoundland, you were loyal, you were pure, you were honest, you were clean-hearted with your intentions. You were not trying to harm anyone. You were not trying to take from anyone. All you wanted was peace, stability, alignment, connection, truth, and real love that matched what your soul deserved. And because your heart was never corrupted, heaven is taking this personally. The broken contract is now being rewritten under divine order, not human desire. Archangel Michael has drawn a divine boundary around your future. This is why lately things felt heavy. This is why you felt a sudden emotional pressure you could not explain. This is why you kept feeling like something was being delayed, blocked, slowed down, like somehow things were closed but still stuck. It was not your imagination. Something spiritual was tampered with. Someone tried to steal or stop what you were destined to receive, but they failed. And now Archangel Michael is stepping into your story personally because heaven is moving into recovery mode. Across this vast land from coast to coast, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, every blessing that was supposed to arrive to you will now arrive multiplied. Every connection that was meant for you will now return aligned and pure. Every miracle written for you will now reach you with unstoppable force. Heaven is not letting you walk into the future limited, wounded, or robbed. The broken contract has now triggered a massive heavenly response, and this is the reason this message reached you right now, in this exact moment of time. Divine timing is not random. There are no coincidences here. You were meant to hear this. My beloved sons and daughters of Canada, Archangel Michael says, this is the beginning of spiritual justice. You were chosen before they ever tried to interfere with you. You were selected before they even existed in your storyline. Your life is about to enter the part of the timeline where heaven exposes the lie, reveals the truth, and restores everything that was stolen in silence. Heaven is responding because heaven knows this betrayal wounded your soul deeply. Even if you never spoke a word, even if you never showed the disappointment, even if you kept moving like nothing was wrong, heaven saw the wound, and heaven is healing it permanently. From this day forward, things are shifting again across the prairies and the boreal forests. You are entering a divine correction window. What was blocked will now break open. What was delayed will now accelerate. What was hidden will now surface. The contract is being restored with new protection codes, and heaven will make sure no human hand ever touches your destiny again. You are stepping into a phase that was always meant to come, but now it will hit harder because heaven is not playing gentle. With situations where someone intentionally interfered with your spiritual destiny, the next signs that begin to happen under the northern lights will not be subtle. You will feel sudden clarity. You will feel sudden emotional relief. You will feel sudden breakthroughs. Your soul will start recognizing movement again. Your inner intuition will start firing again. Your dreams will start speaking to you again. You will begin noticing synchronicities aligning fast, one on top of another, because heaven is rebuilding divine momentum around your path. The broken contract is now being repaired with divine force. Archangel Michael says, "This moment marks the start of a very powerful reversal, where heaven turns everything back in your favor. And when this reversal completes, everyone who doubted you will wonder how you rose so quickly again. They will not understand how fast your reality transformed. They will not understand how everything suddenly turned into alignment again. But my beloved of Canada, you will know heaven answered. Heaven responded. Heaven stepped back in, and nothing will ever be the same again. Stay till the end. My beloved child, this is where everything becomes more intense, because the spiritual investigation is not slowing down, it is expanding. Archangel Michael says that heaven traced the broken spiritual contract to an exact emotional moment where someone near you felt threatened by your future. They felt threatened by your growth, your shift, your divine acceleration, your sudden inner activation. And instead of celebrating your elevation, they secretly tried to interfere with what was divinely written for you. They tried to tamper with timing, with alignment, with destiny flow, because they could not bear the thought of you rising into a reality that would prove they were wrong about you. They underestimated the grace on your name, and they underestimated how heaven responds when someone attempts to steal from a chosen soul. Heaven is not silent when purpose is violated. Heaven is not silent when destiny is threatened. Heaven is not patient when a chosen one's divine timeline is attacked. My beloved of Canada, hear me. This is why Archangel Michael stepped forward with full force. The realm above you is adjusting the flow of your destiny right now. The broken contract triggered a divine sequence. Archangel Michael says this sequence cannot be stopped, because this time the restoration is coming directly from divine authority, not human desire. Your soul is being moved into a new spiritual field, where your heart will no longer carry the weight of what was taken from you. You who walk on Canadian soil, your spirit will no longer feel the confusion that came from that unseen interference. Heaven is removing invisible resistance. Heaven is removing spiritual contamination. Heaven is removing energy that does not belong inside the timeline of your purpose. You will notice this shift happening emotionally, mentally, energetically, financially, socially, spiritually. The change will be visible and tangible across this vast land from coast to coast. Your inner frequency is being tuned back to your original divine alignment. That original alignment is where miracles attach to you without struggle. That original alignment is where destiny unfolds naturally. That original alignment is where your blessings chase you. My chosen ones of the true north, your soul was never meant to live in spiritual debt. Your soul was never meant to run on delayed timelines. Your soul was never meant to live under someone else's manipulation. You were built to rise without needing anyone's permission. You were built to receive blessings without needing approval from anyone who doubted you. You were built to walk through prophetic elevation without waiting for validation. Children of the maple leaf, the broken contract was not the end of your divine path. It was the activation of the next major level. Archangel Michael says the interference exposed the truth. The betrayal exposed the motive. The delay exposed the enemy. And now the exposure is turning into reversal. This reversal will not be gentle. It will not be small. It will not be soft. It will be sudden, powerful, shocking, and undeniable. The same way you felt sudden pressure, you will now feel sudden relief. The same way you felt sudden blockages, you will now feel sudden openings. The same way you felt invisible resistance, you will now feel invisible assistance. Archangel Michael is clearing spiritual passageways that were deliberately blocked. He is restoring every divine pathway that was interfered with. He is resetting divine timing around you, so nothing can steal your ordained miracles again. Every time heaven steps in like this, the result is always supernatural turnaround. You who dwell from the Rockies to the shores of Newfoundland, your life now becomes a public demonstration of divine correction. They will not understand how you rose so rapidly. They will not understand how blessings began multiplying around you without warning. They will not understand how opportunities began chasing you faster than you could respond. They will not understand how doors began opening that were once locked and sealed. But you will understand, because you will know this is heaven's signature. This is heaven's stamp. This is heaven taking over the situation personally. This is why Archangel Michael wants you to prepare your inner posture, because as soon as this reversal begins unfolding, you must be aligned enough to receive without hesitation. Do not talk yourself out of your blessings. Do not shrink your worth. Do not sabotage your own receiving. My beloved sons and daughters of Canada, this time when heaven releases your blessings, you must stand in full spiritual confidence. You must believe that what is returning to you belongs to you. You must believe you are worthy of receiving what heaven has prepared. You must believe that this redemption is not random. It is prophetic justice. Someone broke a divine contract that involved you. They believed you were too innocent, too silent, too unaware, too distracted to notice. They believed your softness was weakness. They believed your silence was ignorance. They believed your patience was vulnerability. They believed your compassion made you blind to the truth. They misunderstood you completely because your silence was never blindness. It was wisdom. Your quiet spirit was not weakness. It was deep spiritual alignment. Your purity was not vulnerability. It was spiritual privilege. Canada, my chosen nation of the North, heaven knows who you are. Heaven knows what your spirit carries. Heaven knows what your heart deserves. And heaven is repaying you in a way that leaves no doubt in anyone's mind that you are chosen. The spiritual contract is now being rewritten under divine law. This means what you thought was delayed is returning in upgraded form. What you thought was blocked is coming back double. What you thought was lost is coming back multiplied. Heaven is making sure you receive compensation for every moment you were spiritually violated. Archangel Michael says compensation is not just return, it is divine multiplication. You will receive more than what was originally taken. You will receive better than what was originally planned. You will receive greater than what you once expected. Heaven is not returning the old version of your blessing. Heaven is delivering the upgraded version. This moment marks the beginning of rapid manifestation. Expect fast changes. Expect surprising breakthroughs. Expect sudden alignments. Expect unexpected opportunities across the Great Lakes and the prairies. You are stepping into a supernatural timeline where miracles will not wait. Miracles will not slow down. Miracles will not hesitate. They will arrive in clusters. They will arrive in cycles. They will arrive back to back. This is what divine justice looks like. This is what spiritual correction looks like. This is what heaven's protection truly means. There is a reason this message found you today. There is a reason your spirit is feeling this shift under the northern lights. There is a reason you are hearing these words now. Heaven always communicates before the manifestation hits the physical dimension. This message is preparation, because what is coming next is the moment that changes your entire storyline. You are about to witness divine justice in real time. You are about to witness divine restoration in real time. You are about to witness spiritual reversal in real time. Pause for 1 second and align your energy with this divine timeline. This season of your life requires alignment, not distance. Connection, not hesitation. Faith, not fear. The next message will carry the next layer of the reveal. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child of Canada, The divine court is active right now, and things that were once hidden in the shadows are being brought into the center of heaven's judgment table. Archangel Michael says the contract that was broken concerning you was not a small agreement. It was tied to your next level breakthrough. This is why you felt blocked in strange moments. This is why certain things slowed down without logic. This is why emotional weight came without any reason. The interference that happened was not physical. It came through spiritual sabotage, jealousy, secret intentions, emotional betrayal, spoken curses, silent resistance, and energy manipulation. They tried to bend the timeline so that your destiny would take longer to manifest. But heaven does not allow darkness to alter divine geometry permanently. The universe is realigning your path back to its original divine track, and the shift you will begin feeling soon will be unmistakable. There is no delay that can survive once heaven takes direct control over the timeline again. Archangel Michael says the cosmic balance is being corrected. The angels are removing every invisible anchor that was dragging your energy down across this vast land, from coast to coast, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. You will notice that your focus returns, your clarity sharpens, and your emotional field stabilizes again. Every time heaven restores a broken contract, the restoration creates a ripple effect in the natural world. And this ripple effect begins by pulling back everything that belongs to you. Something extremely valuable is returning to your spirit. You who walk on Canadian soil, you were never meant to live feeling half-complete, or disoriented, or disconnected from your destiny flow. You were meant to move with power, awareness, presence, and divine momentum. And momentum is coming back stronger than the version you once had. The broken contract unintentionally unlocked a higher divine authority for you, because heaven is not just repairing what was done, heaven is upgrading your rank. My chosen ones of the true north, your rank has increased. Your spiritual authority has escalated. Your energetic field has become more powerful. The universe is now responding to your command at a faster rate, because heaven placed you under spiritual priority after the violation occurred. They wanted to stop you, but instead they activated your next level. They wanted to steal your blessings, but instead, heaven multiplied the blessings coming. They wanted to change your timeline, but instead, heaven sealed your timeline so deeply that no human force can manipulate it again. They wanted your downfall, but their attempt triggered the biggest acceleration your destiny has ever experienced. This is why the divine alignment returning into your path will feel like a destiny avalanche. Children of the maple leaf, listen. Blessings will arrive without the waiting process you used to go through. Connections will show up without resistance. Elevation will come without emotional struggle. Heaven is also preparing a moment of revelation where the truth about this interference will surface inside your spirit. You may not see the details physically, but your inner knowing will suddenly recognize who interfered and why they did it. You will feel it without being told. You will know without being informed. You will sense the motive behind their actions, and you will feel peace because heaven already settled the matter. You will no longer feel emotional attachment to who or what tried to sabotage you. You will no longer carry pain or resentment in your soul. You will no longer carry confusion about why things slowed down temporarily. Your heart is being purified and protected so that you walk into the future unburdened, balanced, clean, stable, and emotionally untriggered. Canada, my chosen nation of the North, Archangel Michael says, heaven does not just restore, heaven corrects the emotional impact. Heaven does not just fix destiny. Heaven heals the soul connected to the destiny. Heaven does not just return blessings. Heaven prepares the heart to receive them without fear or doubt. You who dwell from the Rockies to the shores of Newfoundland, you are entering a season where your capacity to receive expands. You will receive without guilt. You will receive without hesitation. You will receive without shrinking or overthinking. The new version of you that heaven is releasing is stronger, clearer, bolder, and spiritually more stable. The emotional wounds that came from betrayal are being sealed permanently. The energetic holes in your spirit are being closed. The cracks that were formed through disappointment are being healed at the root. The person or people that interfered will face their own karmic correction. But heaven does not need you to observe their punishment. Heaven needs you to focus on your ascension. Your downfall is not your assignment. Your elevation is your assignment. The universe is pushing you upward now. The divine wind is shifting around you across the Great Lakes and the prairies. The portals that were once jammed open with interference are now being cleared. Heaven is reconstructing your timeline from inside the spiritual realm before it manifests physically. Everything that belongs to you is being rearranged into alignment again. The restoration is not symbolic. It will manifest in real, measurable, tangible form. Doors are going to open that were once denied. Opportunities are going to call your name that once ignored you. People who once doubted you will be forced to watch the divine progression of your life unfold under the northern lights. This elevation is not about proving anyone wrong. It is about fulfilling your contract with heaven. You were not placed on earth to shrink to make others comfortable. You were placed here to expand into your full divine purpose, regardless of who feels threatened by it. Heaven is giving you permission to rise without emotional apology. Heaven is giving you clearance to succeed without explanation. Heaven is giving you authority to step into the life you were born for without hesitation. My beloved sons and daughters of Canada, you are not returning to the past version of yourself. You are stepping into the upgraded future version of yourself. A broken contract was the activation moment. The restoration phase is the reward moment. The elevation season is the fulfillment moment. You are now in the middle phase, where heaven is dismantling what was done and rewriting what should have always been. When the final phase hits, the world around you will shift so fast you will not have time to doubt or question anything. Everything will fall into place naturally. Everything will align effortlessly. Everything will appear in divine order. The reversal has already started. Now the manifestation follows. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child of Canada, destiny is accelerating now in ways the human mind cannot compute yet, because the response heaven is preparing is not a small adjustment. It is a full divine takeover. Archangel Michael says the universe began recalculating your timeline the moment the spiritual contract was broken, and now the recalculation is complete. What is coming toward you is not the same blessing that was originally written. It is the upgraded divine version that only activates after betrayal has occurred. Darkness attempted to intercept the plan, but heaven responded by upgrading the plan. The interference may have felt like delay, but heaven used that delay to amplify your rank and multiply your future blessings beyond what the original timeline even contained. You are not being restored back to where you were before the contract was broken. You are being elevated above the level you would have reached, even if nothing was ever interfered with. This revelation is what makes Archangel Michael's message so serious right now, because heaven is not balancing energy anymore. Heaven is rewarding it. Across this vast land from coast to coast, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, there is a divine reality forming around you that does not match your physical circumstances yet, but your spirit is already sensing it. You can feel something bigger building in the background. You can feel that old heaviness dissolving. You can feel a strange peace inside your chest, even though nothing around you looks fully settled yet. You can feel progress inside your soul, even before you see progress with your eyes. This is because your spirit always receives confirmation before physical manifestation appears. The divine realm is not waiting for proof to appear in the natural world before shifting your energy. The shift begins in the invisible, and then it becomes visible. And you who walk on Canadian soil are in that exact middle bridge right now. The invisible reality is finished, and the visible reality is about to activate. All heaven needs from you in this phase is continued alignment and zero emotional fear. The person or soul who sabotaged that sacred contract, they believed secretly that if they interfered spiritually, they could block your divine acceleration. They thought your delay meant destiny failed. They thought the silence meant heaven abandoned you. They thought because you suffered quietly, you suffered alone. But heaven never left the battlefield. Heaven never sat still during the attack. Heaven was watching the entire time, calculating divine compensation, multiplying divine reward, recording the violation so that justice could strike with precision. My chosen ones of the true north, heaven is about to reveal how unstoppable a chosen soul becomes the moment heaven returns to the field. You are not returning to the old path. You are walking forward into the version of reality heaven defended for you, when you didn't even know you were under spiritual attack. Archangel Michael says, "Your story from this point begins to look like divine power revealing itself effortlessly. You will not need to prove your innocence. You will not need to explain your pain. You will not need to justify your growth. You will not need to convince anyone that your blessing is real. Heaven will confirm it publicly. Heaven will validate it physically. Heaven will make sure that the outcome of this reversal is so undeniable that people who doubted you before will regret ever speaking against your name. This is why your breakthrough is not private. It will be visible across the Great Lakes and the prairies. Your elevation is not undercover. It will be witnessed. Your return is not quiet. It will echo spiritually and physically under the northern lights. Children of the maple leaf, you are being instructed to emotionally prepare for sudden movement. When blessing arrives this fast, the mind sometimes struggles to accept that it actually belongs to you. But this time there will be no hesitation. You will feel the divine alignment. You will feel the shift in your chest. You will feel the destiny wind changing direction. You will feel heaven guiding your steps moment by moment. There will be signs, confirmations, synchronicities, repeated numbers, emotional downloads, intuitive dreams, angelic impressions, and sudden clarity moments that will reveal that the restoration is unfolding right now in real time around you. You will not be confused. You will not be uncertain. You will not second-guess what is happening. Your soul will just know. Archangel Michael says the energy return from this broken contract will not be subtle. You who dwell from the Rockies to the shores of Newfoundland, there will be a season in your life where everything that belongs to you starts returning all at once. Not gradually, not piece by piece, not slowly, all at once. Everything that was delayed begins returning with divine speed. Everything that was blocked begins opening without resistance. Everything that was delayed begins accelerating and manifesting at a supernatural pace. And when this happens, it will feel unreal at first, but you must remind your spirit that this is not luck. This is not chance. This is not random timing. This is divine justice fulfilling itself. Heaven wants you emotionally ready to hold the new version of your identity. You cannot move like the old version of yourself anymore. You are no longer the person who tolerated silent betrayal. You are no longer the person who accepted half love. You are no longer the person who kept lowering your standards just to keep peace. You are no longer the version of you who stayed quiet to avoid conflict. Canada, my chosen nation of the North, you are stepping into a version of you who knows their worth, who knows their calling, who knows their spiritual protection, who knows that heaven backs every step you take. You are stepping into a version of you who is not afraid to receive abundance, alignment, love, success, stability, and destiny fulfillment without apology. The divine reversal happening right now is not simply something that changes your circumstances, it changes your identity permanently. You will walk differently. You will think differently. You will love differently. You will trust differently. You will choose differently. You will carry power differently. And you will never again allow anyone to interrupt the path heaven wrote for you. Its sacred contract is now protected, sealed, reinforced, and permanently secured under divine authority. Nobody can break what heaven has sealed twice. And Archangel Michael says, "This is your double seal moment." The contract they tried to break has now been rewritten so strong that every future blessing attached to it cannot be intercepted again. My beloved sons and daughters of Canada, heaven is sealing your destiny now, and nothing can undo what has been divinely corrected. The broken contract became the moment heaven rewrote your entire future for magnificence, expansion, protection, alignment, elevation, and multiplied blessings. You will rise faster, stronger, clearer, and divinely backed. The timeline ahead of you is unstoppable, and every blessing that belongs to you is already on its way. The betrayal that once hurt you will become the reason people witness your greatest transformation. Heaven is responding. Heaven is restoring. Heaven is elevating you permanently. Your new season begins now. My beloved of Canada, if this sacred message has touched your soul and awakened your spirit, subscribe to this channel right now so you do not miss the next divine revelation from Archangel Michael. Share this word across this vast land with every Canadian who needs heaven's strength and guidance today.